I was gonna wait until I got into the next bit of gameplay, because I checked the walkthrough and it said that I should go up somewhere. I'll show you in a second, but I forgot that their character models change whenever you equip them with new shit. And let's take a look at Gala here. He's got really big earrings on. Isn't it great? Look at him. Oh, it makes me so happy. He's also got actual shoes on. So... look at him. He's also got a little more color on his shirt there. Didn't kill it! You're the most useless fucking man. Kalad. God damn. What a boss-ass ostrich. Oh, I got an ambush. That's so I was like, why didn't it attack me? And I think it's because I got an ambush. So, I watched the show Miss Fisher, and I think I was telling you about it. I made a post on Tumblr last night about how much I love Miss Fisher. Because the first fucking episode... Hold on, let's see if there's plot. No, it's dark in here. Okay. So, the first episode opens with a girl being fired. It's set in Australia. The door won't open. But it sounds like there's someone on the other side of the door. Knock. Vaughn knocked on the door with an exclamation point. There's no one here. No one! Alright. I guess that's what we're doing. So the first episode opens with a girl being fired from whatever house she works for. And, so then a guy dies, and over the course of the episode, and thus the case, it is revealed that he was a rapist who impregnated the maid that was fired, and the maid ended up going to try to get an abortion, but because abortions are illegal in 1920s Australia, that doesn't go well. I was gonna command him, but fuck it. So that doesn't go well for her, so she ends up being taken to a hospital because she gets dumped off into a taxi with these two guys, and their names are Albert and Cecil, and they call them Bert and Cess, which, I understand Bert is Albert. Good job, Ozma! Look at him, he's so cool. He's so cool and got fired from his job. But this door is locked and won't open. What the fuck am I doing here then? Walk through? Okay. Cool. But it occurred to me that this show has a lot of feminist and progressive, shit in it, right? And it addresses it all in a respectful way, and like, we should take care of this because it's a good idea. And the inspector that Miss Fisher ends up working with, he never says, ew, gross, a woman, like a lot of the other constables and sergeants and shit. He says, you're a civilian, get out, until he eventually realizes that she's really fucking smart. And you know, he's never played off as really dumb either. Like in shows like Poirot and some of the Sherlock incarnations and all this other shit, he would be played off as like just in the way or fucking dumb as shit because our private detective protagonist is the smartest person in the room at any given time. But it's never like that. The inspector, Jack, is just as smart as Miss Fisher, and I think that's really cool. Let's see, let's do Thunder Punch. No, let's do Lightning Storm. Right, up, left. Right, up, left. Shit. So I need right, up, left. No. Right, up. No, that's left. Fuck! Okay, right, up, left. Okay, let's try that. These two were low on AP. Oh, okay, never mind. I guess we're not doing anything. Good job, Kalad. I got 57 experience. Woohoo. Somebody else... I made this post, and it's got like a shit ton of notes on it. Already. I made it last night. Fucking... no. Am I in here just to get Saru? Because there's still mist in here. All these fucking doors are locked. This is bullshit. I already have theaters. Do you have... no, you have... still have... you know what? Let's do the right, left. Right, left. Yeah. Let's teach you some things, my man. Somebody said that it's full of female gays because a lot of the protagonists, a lot of the people that we deal with are women. The protagonist is named Phryne Fisher. You didn't learn a move! Did I do it wrong? Is it supposed to be the other way? Oh, no, you have to learn those by talking to somebody. Okay, so that's my problem. Oh, let's do that then. What? Fuck did he just say? I'm gonna check the walkthrough real quick. So this says... oh, yeah. Get some Saru. This is entirely optional. Oh, okay. So I didn't need to be here. Sorry. Although it is weird that there's a creepy old man in there. But yeah, so it's full of the female gaze, and I've had fights with my mom about the fact that the inspector and protagonist group lady, as with anything when there's a man and a woman, they have feelings for each other. But she's a free spirit and whatever, and he was married when the show started, and then he got a divorce by the end of season 1. And so as a watcher, you think, oh, okay, that means that they're gonna get together, right? They didn't. And Mom keeps fucking bitching about the fact that the reason they're not getting, it's stupid that they're not getting together if they obviously have feelings for each other, and he's so romantic and all this other shit, and I'm over here like, yeah, except every fucking case that they have together, she fucks at least one person related to the case. So, yeah, I understand that they have feelings for each other, they should get together, but the problem is, he's not the kind of guy to enjoy that sort of behavior. Every time it is revealed that she probably fucked somebody related to the case, he gets really upset about it. And if that's the way that she is, he thinks that she would treat him the same way, and, he's not the kind of guy to just engage in dalliance. If he likes her, or he loves her, then he wants to commit to that. He doesn't just want to be... and, they work together, so... we should be aware of that and stuff. So, and she keeps being like, what the fuck does that have to do with anything? Who cares if she's a whore? And I'm like, he does. And that's why he never says, I want you to be with me. Because, you know, that's just that's just the way she is. She's just a fucking slutbag. Which is fine. It's never interferes with her job. You know? I don't actually remember how to get out of here. It never really interferes with their situation. So why make her stop, you know? If she enjoys doing it, there's no reason to be a fucking dickler about it. All he'd be doing at that point is controlling her. But the first episode, back to this. The thing that I like about the first episode is that I hadn't actually watched the whole thing because my parents watched it without me. And then I was like, oh man, this show's really cool and fun looking. Is that the, can I just walk on this? Yeah, okay. The lady, the girl has the abortion, the shitty botched abortion, she gets taken to the hospital by these taxi drivers. I don't know why there's two. I guess a product of the time. I don't know. But she gets taken to the hospital, and she gets treated. And she's still suffering, like, shock and all these other problems. And they come back later when she's awake and coherent and stuff and healed a bit. And one of the taxi drivers is this really fucking cinnamon roll kind of guy. And he was sitting there while she was still, like, drugged and asleep. And he was sleeping next to her. Like, sitting there with a pillow against the wall. Because he was worried about her. And I thought that was really nice. And then when they come back to talk to her, he's sitting there and she's clutching his hand frantically over the course of the conversation, needing somebody to sort of ground her and help her feel stronger. And they never met before this instance, and yet she's clinging to him like a lifeline. And just fucking strolling here. And then at the end of the episode, because abortion is illegal in the late 20s in Australia, the girl that was her friend, her name is Dot, she was the other maid, she also got fired. Dot says, Miss Fisher, isn't that girl gonna have to confess to the fact that she tried to get an abortion? And Miss Fisher's like, well, yeah, but Cinnamon Roll Friend is gonna help them understand that she tried to get an abortion, or she sought an abortion, decided against it, and then the abortion doctor did it to her anyway. And Dot was like, is that what happened? Miss Fisher goes, more or less. So it seemed very much to me like Cess, who is the cinnamon roll, was using his privilege as a male in this society to help this girl get maybe a lesser sentence or get no sentence at all. And I just thought it was really nice that, like, not only do we have all this feminist agenda shit going on, we have all this respectful stuff, we have this, the guy was killed at the beginning of the murder victim was murdered because he was a rapist and he was a controlling misogynist asshole, so his wife had become a drug kingpin in order to have her lifestyle and money and shit back. And he was like, bitch, that's my shit. And she was like, I just want my life, I just want my freedom. And he never gave it to her, so she's like, okay, guess what, murder time. So, like, this whole fucking first episode is nothing but, like, feminist stuff, basically. And Jack the inspector is like, look, I think it's fucked up that people get abortions and this doctor is really bad at it. And it should bitch stole my flower. Get in there! Yeah! Thanks, God. Look at me, so fabulous. Look at his beautiful earrings. Look at his grumpy Ozma. He's so spiky. Anyway, so I just think it's cool. I just like Miss Fisher. I just don't understand why fucking I said, man, Miss Fisher's a pretty cool show. And, like, everybody crawled out of the woodwork to make fucking like and reblog and shit my post. So let's get in here. Let's get in this mist generator. Listen to this fucking music. Oh, Noah. My God, look at all this mist. It's coming from over here, from this fucking penis. It's just jizzing out all the smoke. Thick mist is pouring out from that smokestack. That is where the mist that engulfed Drake Kingdom comes from. How the fuck do you know? You were a baby. Now listen, Noah. This castle has caverns deep underground. Deep inside them is a mist generator. That's where the mist is coming from. Listen to this music. I guess we're gonna listen to it for a while. I'll destroy the mist generator by myself. I want to get rid of all this mist. What a good girl. That's right, Noah. We have to destroy the mist generator. Yeah, once we reach the mist generator, we can stop the mist with our Rosaru powers. You know. The powers. But this is a vital castle to the enemy, and will be heavily defended. Proceed with caution, man. Okay. So did his model change on the... Is there anything out here? No. 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 Let's get in there, I guess. Did they just squash that picture? Look! More wieners and sacks. Am I supposed to get this? This fucking castle is heavily fortified, they said, and I didn't get attacked for like... Oh, it's a spider hand. I'm weirded out by it. It's really, like, it's actually kind of pretty. Because of the colors. Yeah, get in there, Vaughn. Punch it. Okay, just get in there. If it doesn't have some sort of grab attack, I'm gonna be really disappointed. Why does everybody have so much AP but Vaughn? You didn't absorb it, you fucking bitch! At least Terra looks different. I forgot that everybody leveled up, so Meta and Terra look different, but Ozma doesn't, because he just was born. He's so cool, isn't he? He's such a badass. He's got fucking big hoop earrings on. Hey, a box. This isn't gonna end. Hey, more boxes. A Thunderbook. Vaughn now has a Thunderbook. Does that mean it's for what's-his-face? Use. Here it is. Thunderbook. For Ozma. There you go, buddy. I learned Thunder Punch. Is that the move I was trying to teach myself? But I couldn't, because I need to... Yes, it is! You know what that means? It's the wrong window. That means we can use it... A healing leaf! Hooray! We can use it in the next fight. There we go. Got one. Got him! Cool, we need a Grimard. You know what? You fucking... fight that guy. And you... No. You... do... Thunder Punch! Motherfuck, why is Vaughn the only one that has priority on... moves? Getting tired of all these fucking autos and nobody does anything. He's got winglies. Claude. Man. Yeah, so he says that shit. He absorbed it! Yay! Ozma's actually pretty fast at absorbing things. I've noticed. Is it because he's level 1? Yeah, let's look at Terra. He's got the winglies. Anyway, so this game, is cool. I like it. Hey, another box. A healing flower. So, how big is this place? A box. A fury boost. What is a fury boost? Fury boost. 1 extend action gauge. Let's equip that on Kalad, like fucking immediate. Oh yeah, that's right, he doesn't have an egg anymore. Oh no. Is it like a thing? It's like a thing you have to use in combat? Oh man. I was excited. Poopy. I need more hands. Can I have a hand? I got a hand. Everybody fight it. Let's spirit. You'd think, since it's supposed to be a fire type, that it would be weak to ice. Alright, everybody. Oh, that was a lot of damage. Spirit, my man. Good job. Also Spirit, you should... Vera... You can now 5 buttons. You can do... Electro Thrash. Up. Left, down, right, left. Up. Yeah, left, down, right, left. Do it on hand. Time for this fucking animation again. Hot diggity dog. I don't sleep very well anymore. Because at like 6:30 in the morning and 7 and stuff, my sister and her daughter are up fucking talking to each other and usually fighting about something. She's only 10 and she's already a little shit. Look, he absorbed it immediately! I love you, Ozma. You're my new best friend. Get fucked, Grimard. The way Vaughn holds those knives, like, directly at his face really bothers me. Let's try... down? There's nothing here. Not even an item. What a bunch of horseshit. Back to fucking combat. Okay, so you two need to fight that. You already... Nope. You already absorbed it. Fuck. Wait, are there any fucking 3s that we didn't get? I think that's it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Auto that shit! Oh no, wait. Don't auto on him. Auto on him. It. Her. Wait, those things are fucking hardy. Ouch. So I have to take my sister to school in the morning on Tuesday and Thursday, and they wake me up, and so I'm always like looking at the time like, fuck, I didn't get as much, I didn't maximize my sleep. Then I get up and I start putting my clothes on, and most of the time my sister wants to come and make sure that I'm awake and stuff, but what ends up happening is she comes in and says, and looks at me, and then says the same fucking thing every Tuesday and Thursday. I'm gonna go get coffee and make my sandwiches and then I'll be ready. Yeah, I know. I know. Every Tuesday and Thursday you do the same thing. You make coffee, you make your fucking breakfast sandwiches. And then... whatever. Not important. I'm not mad about it. It's just like... you don't have to say the same shit every day. And then, so, my boyfriend's friend, Dalton, said he needed somebody to talk to. And I'm not really good friends with, like, anybody. But I was like, hey man, because I know how hard it is to have to deal with not having anybody to talk to about your problems. Because I fucking cried on my parents a couple days ago because I had no one to talk to about my fucking problems. So I needed to tell anybody, and they were the only ones available at the time, so I just fucking screamed and cried about all my issues in their general direction, and they were like, holy shit, man. So much to the point where, like, the next a couple days later, I was fucking just talking to my mom about how I tried to go to bed early for me at, like, 2 o'clock in the morning instead of, like, 4, which is what I usually do, and I kept getting woken up by my sister and her daughter. My mom was like, do you want to scream and cry about it? And I was like, no. It was a minor annoyance. Magic. That's all I'm saying, is it was a minor annoyance. Let's go this way. That looks like progression, so let's not go that way. Let's get a fight instead! So I was like, hey man, you need anybody to talk to? And he was like, okay, and they just immediately started talking to me. I was like, shit, okay. Cause, you know, like I said, since we're not really friends, I was kind of confused, but, you know, I'm there. And his problem is basically that he's got somebody that's talking shit about him. And his, things that he likes, and that he's crafted with his own hands, and he's worked on for, like, the last 5 years. And I said, look, I had this problem with my sister. I've been driving her around for the last year, unable to, like, get a job and really feel free enough to talk to my boyfriend about going to visit him in Japan. And for all of my efforts, she talks mad shit on me. And I really don't like it. It's really rude. It makes me feel really bad about myself. There's a lot of things that she has misconstrued and that I've said or done. And she continues to misconstrue them, and it gives me a lot of fucking problems. Like, I don't know if I'm actually that good of a person, because if my shit can be so easily misconstrued, maybe I'm actually that bad, you know? Maybe she's right about me being a terrible person, or she called me a psychopath one day. A healing bloom. Oh god. And what if I am actually that bad? And the only thing that ever made that shit stop was when my dad said, was when I lost my fucking mind, because my niece has a tendency to take my shit. And I don't know if she takes it because she's like 10 and younger, and she just sees something and she wants it, and she doesn't realize that that's actually basically stealing, and because she didn't ask permission and she has no intention of giving it back, and all this other shit. So I lost my fucking mind, and I went downstairs and I was all, we're gonna go through all your fucking video games because you stole one of mine. At which point my sister lost her fucking mind at me and said she was gonna punch me, and she demanded my dad remove me from her room, and he said, fucking punch her then. And then she chickened out. I have never once wanted to punch her or said, I'm going to punch you, or any of that shit. So it was really weird to me for that shit to happen. For that to be an interaction that we had. She called me a psychopath and all this other shit. And the only thing that made her stop saying those kinds of things was my dad went down there that day and said, look, we know you've been talking massive amounts of shit, and we don't appreciate it, and it's really toxic, and it's fucked up and wrong. And after that, she started being a lot more polite and going back to the way that we were, like, making jokes and whatever else. And it was just... And so I was like, I don't know what you could possibly do, because the only thing that fixed somebody talking shit about me was my dad went and said, stop that. So, with your situation, friend, since you have a friend who's talking mad shit on you, there's... I mean... And he said, well, I guess I'm just gonna have to limit my interactions with this guy. And I was like, I guess, man. I mean... Because it's one of those situations where no matter how many times I tried to talk to her about our issues, no matter how many people said, just speak to her honestly about your problems, just talk to her. No matter how many times I talked to her, she always told me I was wrong and that I needed to change. And that was it. That was the end of the fucking story. There was a time when I first started going to college, my mom and my sister both said, are you sure you want to take 4 classes? And I was like, well, 2 things. I have to, because if I don't, then I don't get my full Pell Grant. But, you know... And they were like, well, you didn't... My sister said you didn't have a typical high school experience, so you won't be able to handle that. You probably shouldn't take 4 classes. And my mom said... I couldn't take 4 classes. I kept having to drop them every semester. It was fucking, it was a bad scene, man. And I said, to both of them, individually, I said, this is really offensive to me, because I feel like you guys don't have faith in my intelligence or my capacity to handle these things. And I think it's fucked up. And my mom said, oh shit, I'm sorry. And my sister said, well, you didn't have a typical high school experience, so... And then I said, you could support me instead of telling me that I'm going to fail. She said, I didn't tell you you were going to fail. I think I told you you need to temper your expectations, which isn't the same thing, apparently. And I was like, fucking what? And then we had a fight for like a fucking hour where I said, you hurt me. All I want is for you to apologize. And she said, I didn't hurt you because my intention was this, and what you heard was this, and that's not my problem. Okay, cool. An elevator. Oh, it's pulsing. Phew. So, that's the kind of arguments that I get in with my sister most of the time. There's a box hiding. It's a short sword. Vaughn now has a short sword. Does he? Yeah. Cool. And if that's the kind of argument that I get in with my sister, and that's the kind of argument that this guy has, the shit-talking friend of my friend, then I don't know what to do in that situation, because I couldn't fix it myself, except just not interacting with her anymore. But then I got in trouble with my parents for not interacting with my sister, you know? And I was like, fucking, she's a bitch, what do you want? It's not like I didn't try, you know? His hand is so cool looking. Okay, now his fucking sword is literally too long. No, it's still in front of his face. It's shaped a little funny. So I didn't talk about that earlier, but I like the noise it makes, because it feels very... What's the word I'm looking for? Like a siege weapon. Like a steam train or something. No! Fuck you, Tara! You're so bad! Ozma's such a good boy. I'm running out of shit to talk about, which is why I'm talking about this. What's in here? A box. A shield elixir. I wonder if that fury boost works on top of a spirit. Ooh, a Vera. It's a different color. No. You know what that means. Ozma, get it! Look at all those colors! Ozma's such a huge dude, look at him. He's all wedged. He's all bunged up. But like if he stood straight, he'd be like fucking 2 times as tall as Noah. Ouch. See, look at that! Oh, Ozma, you're such a good boy. And Kalad is so cool, look at him. Because cool guys don't look at explosions. Or whatever. Okay. There's a door here! It's a little scraggly. What's in this box? A phoenix? A whole phoenix? So Miss Fisher's a cool show, you should watch it. You know what? I'm gonna use Ozma. I'm gonna use Ozma to do a Vera. Since I just got it. I should probably use Zenoir at some point. Okay. Cool pose. I guess pink and purple Vera is cool. I wish you could like pick their color. Or they changed color depending on what level they were. That would be neato. I'm gonna see if I can get fucking... Meta to absorb this garbage. He did! Gotta hate Terra. Terra won't absorb fucking anything. It took me 4 goddamn evers to absorb the jisms in the other forest. Because I was grinding. Do you hurt? Is that why you did that? But you're a badass, so like... hey man, let's... He's got more mana than everybody else. Is he supposed to be a caster? Cause, what's her face? Where am I going? Where am I going? It's fucking labyrinth. Cause Noah has the lowest MP, and the highest, physical DPS it looks like. Kalad has like no fucking, combo meter. And he's not actually that strong. So is he supposed to be the mage of the party? Question marks? Vaughn's pretty even. Because you'd think, because she's a girl, that she would be the caster, but she's got like the lowest fucking mana pool. And she fucking doesn't absorb anything very fast. There's meta, there's new meta. He's got like 3 spikes. Did he have like 2 spikes before? Now he's got 3? He's got an extra spike? Is this progression? This feels like progression. Hey, a box. A healing bloom. There's another one. A burning jewel. What does that do? Cool. Defense against fire powers. Let's equip that on her. Because he's already got 2 things! So my friend that was having this problem, he DMs a game, and he's been building a tabletop RPG system for several years with the help of my boyfriend after a couple of years. Or a year or so. And the reason he was upset is because his friend being an asshole meant that he had to cancel the game. And I said, hey man, since you're the one DMing the game, why don't you just, like, turn it into a book, since you like to write. And I don't remember if he ever addressed that, but my boyfriend was like, DMing a campaign isn't the same as writing a book because of player involvement. And I was like, yeah, I got that, but he likes to write, and as far as I remember, basically he kind of railroaded you guys. Like, there were plenty of times when my boyfriend would show up and he oh, it's the end. He would, like, his character, he would try to get his character to do shit, and then the DM would be like, I don't want you to do that, I want you to do this shit, and he'd be like, okay, fine, whatever. And that was actually a lot of the game, from what I can remember, was at least on his end. And also because they were working with a system that they were building, like, every game session, there was something new, you know? So the system that they were building, now you have to rebuild your character for the fucking 15th time, and this is game 15, you know? And I can understand how that can get really fucking frustrating, because we did basically the same thing, but we had, like, 15 sessions total. And then our game exploded because I think there was meta involved. I think. Because it's one of those things that, like, I keep looking back on and going, oh, he already absorbed it. I keep trying to figure out, like, what went wrong, you know? And we had a friend it was me, 2 friends, and then my boyfriend was DMing. And one of the guys, it was an alteration of the Pathfinder Kingmaker campaign. And I took that to mean that we were vassals sent to this land to clear it out and set it up, and that because we did all that, we would then be made kings, right? No, sorry, just wrong. But one of the other guys was like, I'm a criminal running away from my problems and the law and all this other shit by taking this conscription notice and heading to this land to clear it out, set it up, whatever. But our other friend, he said, I'm gonna make my character a nobleman who is also running from... Fuck me, I keep forgetting. Who is also running from his problems. However, he's since he's a nobleman, he's a fucking dickler, and he thinks he's in charge. And in the conscription notice, it said, oh, bitch. In the conscription notice, it said, go report to the highest ranking officer on the island. And I was like, you guys never like addressed that? And I guess I never. As I was supposed to be the highest ranking officer on the island, and I guess as the highest ranking officer, I probably should have said something, but it was like my second game overall. And so it never occurred to me that that was going to be a problem, right? So over the course of the game, I assumed that because my character was supposed to be the highest ranking officer, that I was supposed to be in charge, but because his character was a nobleman and assumed he would be the highest ranking officer, he assumed he was in charge, so anytime I did anything that acted like I was in charge, he got really pee-pants about it, and that ended up being a bone of contention between our characters, which can, in theory, function as good dynamic storytelling or whatever, but what ended up happening was he engaged in PvP, and my boyfriend doesn't like PvP. So, he was uncomfortable with that. And then he tried to rewrite it, and then the way that he was trying to fix it made our friend mad, the nobleman friend. And then eventually we just stopped playing. I ended up falling asleep during our last session because it was made abundantly clear to me that nobleman friend wanted to be the biggest dick, and so, well, not like asshole dick, like a jerk, not like that, but like, he wanted to be the most important guy, and so in order to do that, I was just like, fine, you go do that, and then, I think it was in winter, because I had a jumper, I had a pullover that I was wearing, and I had taken it off and bunged it up and used it as a pillow. And I ended up falling asleep while my boyfriend was having us talk to an NPC, and I was like, oh fuck. And so I woke up shortly after the conversation and with the NPC, and I listened to everything else that was going on, and then nobleman friend had to go to work or whatever. And then afterwards, post-session, I was talking to my boyfriend, and he was like, I expected you or your character or somebody to like engage this NPC with more questions, and you didn't. And I was like, that's because I fell asleep and I'm sorry. And he was like, okay, you know what? I'm just not gonna fucking run the game anymore, and I was like, no! And he's like, no, it's not because you fell asleep, it's just because it's not working, With the way that our nobleman friend was acting, and with the way our other friend was trying to stay neutral and all this other shit, it was just like, what's the fucking... Nobody's having fun. Everything's always tense now. You fucking fell asleep. Like, there's no... Nothing good is happening here, so why bother, And I was like, okay. I understand. So we wasn't, I sound like I'm really upset. I wasn't that upset about it. But it's one of those things like, when you look back on it, you're like, oh man, I probably could have handled that better, or maybe we should have done more than just let it explode, But we didn't, so... And because it wasn't my game, I probably might have tried to pick it up like that, like I told our other friend, to just... Why do you have 10 AP, asshole? Just pick it up and make it into, like, a novelization sort of thing, but it wasn't mine. My boyfriend, managed to come up with a really inventive way of trying to repair the damage, in that he forced Nightmare onto our nobleman friend so that he would have a better understanding of my character and neutral friends' motivations. So basically it was, we went to sleep that night at the end of the session, our characters went to sleep, and in game, basically, his character had nightmares about how our characters all ended up in this situation. And Nobleman friend was like, this is fucking bullshit retcon, and my boyfriend was like, stay with me, believe in me, trust me. It's not gonna stay that way. And it didn't. So, and then when he went, and I, he didn't reveal anything to me either, so I was like, this is weird, I don't understand what's going on. But whenever we got to the end of it, I was like, oh, that was clever. So we got to have our character backstory worked in as a motivation and an explanation as to why we were doing the shit that we were doing, and it was done in such a way that I thought was really clever. And since I hadn't thought about it that way, and he sort of made these scenarios, I was like, oh, okay, that's interesting. It helps me flesh out the world. It's like a world building exercise and a character building exercise all wrapped in one. And I thought it was really rad. Obviously it didn't work out, but what are you gonna do? Anyway, I'm gonna end this episode by saving here. And then we're gonna go, oh, Zeto's dungeon. Cool. And then, I'm gonna go continue the story, I guess. And I'm sorry that it was just me rambling about fucking a bunch of garbage for an hour almost. But here we are. And there we go. I'll see you next time.